Alright, now we wait slowly to find a server once again. So, why don't you tell me a little bit more background about yourself? So, you said you played Dota and then you switched to Han.
Yeah, I played Dota 1 under I made I played for my nickname back then was Stripes, and I played for like a lot of the top tier teams. Like I don't know if you guys remember, but I played with like I made a team with Fear back in the day.
Cool.
Uh it didn't go so well because we lost in second round of MYM Pride Finals to SGC, which actually like did incredibly well. I think they got third that year.
And what year
So
was
that's
this?
oh, that was like 2007 or
Wow, that
2008.
was a long time ago. That was before I even played Dota, so.
So yeah, after that, I joined up with a bunch of North American players, and we made Team Shakens, which was originally like I played with like Tommy. For the people that remember Tommy, and I think it was Onechus and Miracle Chipmunk. So a bunch of like Team Pandemic players back then, and Complexity players. And then more recently, I played for Blight USA, which was me and Korok and Onechus, and we actually got rank one on the GoSu Gamers rankings
Hmm,
back when we played. That was our biggest feat, but we never went to any LAN events or anything
that's too bad.
because yeah, it wasn't big enough. Uh, we beat we beat EG a couple times and MYM in a couple tournaments, and that was like our biggest feats. So, anyways, I just went off to school for a couple years, and then Korok was like, "Come make a Han team." So I played that for like 4 or 5 months to get good, and then made a team, won a bunch of tournaments, and then Dota 2 came out, and I'm like, "This game's shit." Han,
I
and
was gonna say, I was like,
yeah,
careful.
I no, like I just enjoyed Dota 2 like just so much more. Like, ah,
Yeah, it's really fun. The graphics are amazing. I go back and play Dota 1 really occasionally, and I'm like, oh my god, how did I ever play this game? Especially the mini map. Like, you can't see where the fog of war is, so if I'm standing in mid, you can't see anything on the map unless like a hero icon is there or something. I don't know. There's just so many little things that it's like, wow, I can't believe I played this game for so long. Dota 2 is really fantastic.
for
It's really
sure.
fun.
You know, I tried to go back to Dota 1 before Han, but sadly, like I was on a widescreen monitor, and I don't know if any of you guys tried to play Dota 1 with the widescreen monitor. I couldn't handle that. Like,
Why not?
I,
Were your drivers not updated or something?
no, it's just I didn't want to like resize it to like a square smaller than my monitor, and I didn't want the
Oh,
like pixels to be stretched so bad, you know?
I actually, I think it might have been, you might have been able to update your video card because I played like that. I played a stretch screen on my widescreen monitor for a couple months before I finally like updated my video card drivers, and then I got a widescreen option. I was like, oh crap, I've been playing
Oh,
like stretched the whole time, and
I thought
I
Warcraft 3 didn't have a widescreen option.
I updated it like less than a year ago, and I at some point got some widescreen. So I don't know, not sure, but
Yeah,
it improved my game, that's for sure. Once you can see
that's
that
what
much
killed me.
more, you're like.
Like the trends, the trends were just like wide. Oh,
Mhm.
I can take it.
Yeah, the worst was trying to land stuns with Leshrac when your screen is wider than it should be. So technically, like people run horizontally a little bit faster than up and down. That was kind of weird,
I can
but
imagine how awful that would be.
yeah,
Oh,
I got used to it though, so wasn't a huge deal. But anyways, into the game so far, we're watching mouz versus CLG for Star Series. And first round bans, we see a Windrunner, Enchant, Tidehunter, and then a Lycan, Nature's Prophet, and Chen. Now I want to ask you a question about Lycan. I've been seeing him getting banned like crazy the last couple weeks. The games that he does come into, though, I feel like he hasn't really done a whole lot. I mean, he's won some games, but a higher average of people losing with Lycan than winning with him.
the thing about Lycan is he's a hero that you need to practice, and he's a hero that you need to practice against. So in that case, like, it's hard right now, you know, as a team, because if you don't have the time to get practice in, then you can't like practice what strategies work out with Lycan and stuff. Like if you watch the Dara game versus no, it wasn't Dara. Yes, it was Dara. It was Dara versus EG. They did a triple Necrobook strategy, which
Yeah.
really just abused Lycan's Howl, and they were able to pressure so hard because of it.
Yeah, that was a
And
really fun game.
like you can tell that they've practiced their Lycan strategy before, and EG didn't really. I don't think they've practiced playing against Lycan strategy because they didn't roam on him. They didn't try anything to inhibit his farm, and they didn't really trade farm that well. But
Hmm.
I think they had a bit of a lane failure that game. But anyways,
So you think it's mostly just that teams don't practice Lycan strats that much, and they just assume like, oh yeah, I remember Dota 1 Lycan's OP, like I'll try him out, and then they swing it, and I don't know. I mean, he's great counter pushing, obviously, but
hmm
I feel like an anti-mage is usually a little bit better and a lot more safe than something like a Lycanthrope. So I don't
hmm
know. But alright, so
Problem with anti-mages that if you let them get a Lycan, then they just have the potential to push really hard, depending on
true.
what they pick. So anyways, let's get back to the game. We had a first pick Invoker,
Mhm.
and then second pick Darkseer and Leshrac.
No way, CLG playing Leshrac. Seriously, every game that I've watched CLG play, it's always Leshrac. And they always solo him. They don't play support Leshrac. And this means that taking those early towers are a little bit more hard because if you have a Leshrac on the mid lane, then there's always going to be somebody up against you that can pull the creep wave pass that you can't tank up, or that you can't have creeps tank the tower while you do the edict damage, I feel. So, but interesting that CLG plays him in that role instead of a support, but it has different strengths, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, one of the strengths as a Leshrac, of having a Leshrac pick is that he's so versatile in what you can do with him. You can throw him in a tri-lane. He's a 600 range hero. You just need to set up stun. You can throw him in solo mid position. You can throw him as a safe lane solo and try to get that top tower fast with 3 heroes. But mouz, as they made a really wise decision in this game, banning Enchantress. They went for the Chen first pick, possibly. I would think that they did, because Aki plays an incredible Enchantress in Chen. So they made sure to get rid of the Enchantress and set up the Chen first pick. But they got rid of the Enchantress, which will prevent a lot of CLG's pressure. Like, they really rely on the Enchantress and Chen pick a lot. And it was a great choice, getting rid of them.
But currently Mouse's teamfight and push is also pretty strong as well. Venomancer wards are great for that. Once again, the main push coming out of CLG is that Leshrac Edict, but at the moment they're setting up some decent teamfight AoE. And we saw that in the last game, was Darkseer pulling in those teamfight ultis to be very, very powerful. So if they can match that up with some more AoE heroes, we may see something cool come out of CLG, but I'm not really sure who they're going to draft after this. They still have very, very good variety that they could put in their picks. Jungling heroes, etc.
CLG. There's still an anti-mage in the pool. If I was mouz, I would be looking at possibly banning an anti-mage here. Pycat, he really likes to play his anti-mage. And
He's
okay,
good at
it's
it.
not that he really likes to play his anti-mage. He's comfortable. When they're getting this type of lineup with an anti-mage, they're just feeling in the zone. They're just comfortable.
Why is Anti-Mage always making it through second round bans now? Are teams just a little bit scared about getting completely counterpicked for the entire draft? Or what?
He's getting around the second bans because there's so many options to deal with an anti-mage now. Still, you have to practice against him to make sure that you're fully capable of playing against the anti-mage. But, for example, you could run a Shadow Demon. You could run a straight up hard push lineup. There are the heroes for the hard push lineups now. So there's also the SA to counter. So there's ways of dealing with them now. With Lycan, Invoker can go 4 Quas and 4 Exort early, and he can have the 2 minions by level 10, and that's really strong pushing power as well. So even now, mouz had the potential to. They still have a lot of potential for pushing power if there was an anti-mage picked.
Yeah, and that's why they banned out Ricky there for their last pick, because that basically forced CLG to ban the anti-mage, because that's the best hard carry counter towards an anti-mage currently. Lycan is an option, but obviously Lycan's gone, and Lone Druid, when he gets thrown in the pool, will also give more options to the team. So interesting. So I guess that does make sense. Shadow Demon is a hero that doesn't see much play right now. He's occasionally banned first round, but not by every team, and he would be a good counter pick against anti-mage. He's a hero that people reference very often, but mouz is going to continue with more teamfight. So they're going for an SK, so they have a lot of teamfight on their team at the moment.
Yep.
I guess they're going to play support SK, perhaps. We'll see what their last pick is.
I'm kind of thinking that mouz was kind of See, I think they tried to kill 2 birds with 1 stone there. They picked the Sand King because they were kind of worried about CLG getting the Sand King as well. Lately, we've been seeing a lot of Darkseer plus Enigma plus Tidehunters plus Leshracs, heroes like that, plus Sand Kings. The AoE is just... You can turn a team fight so easily with an Epi and a stun on 3 heroes because of Vacuum. It's really powerful, and I think they were kind of worried about it there as well. But I also think that mouz kind of wanted Morphling as their last pick here.
And Morphling has seen some really good win rates lately as well. I've seen a couple of games where they lost. I believe EG played against, who was that? Was that PR?
It was Dare.
Oh yeah, Dare, yeah. EG Dare, where Morphling got shut down pretty hard in his lane due to 2 ranged heroes, and he never really got very good farm, and then it was an outpush at that point. Dare played that game really, really well. But Yeah, other than that, I haven't seen a lot of Morphling losses lately. He's just, once he grabs up like his core item build, he's just so easy for him to pick off a lot of heroes. He has a nice balance between magic nuke as well as physical damage, so it's not super easy to counter him. You can't just grab like a Ghost Scepter or something.
Even so, you're saying like the core item build, but it's sometimes it's not easy to get there at all to get those items on Morphling. Like the core item build, meaning like Treads, Lincolns, Manta, Ethereal Blade, or just swap out Manta for Ethereal Blade first. But that's a lot of farm. He needs 2 items at that point. The reason Morphling stopped getting picked in China was because heroes like Lycan and Lone Druid, with 1 item, they did as much as a Morphling with 2 or 3 items, with the Lincolns, the Manta, and the Ethereal Blade.
Interesting. And Mouse is going to draft off of Viper for their last pick. That's another hero who's been kind of hit or miss lately. Sometimes it works out nice, but more often than not, he gets shut down pretty early. And if he's a little underfarmed, Viper is, in a lot of ways, a very worthless hero. Maybe not worthless, but like, if he gets behind, it is not looking good. But this is going to allow Mouse to have somebody to tank in team fights, which is the main thing. And if Viper is tanking, that gives the team fight heroes time to set up, like an SK Blink to come in and stuff like that. So, and it'll give them an earlier game carry than the Morphling, so possibly that will carry them into the mid game and possibly win them enough team fights where they can take Raxes.
And we see the ES coming out as the last pick from CLG. I wasn't sure what to expect, but this is how they like to play when they get the Darkseer pick. They like to set up the vacuum and big AoE combo with Leshrac. It's going to be nasty.
Yeah, that works out good. Especially if Earthshaker gets a fast Blink Dagger. We'll see if he rushes straight for that. Sometimes I've seen some Earthshakers even skip boots to try to get Blink up as fast as possible. Especially if you're behind, that's oftentimes very important because winning that first crucial, or that team fight right before they take the Rax can be absolutely huge towards swinging the game towards your favor. But we'll see how he adjusts that. In the meantime, we'll go over the Radiant team. We're going to look at Mouse first. Dement is going to be playing Venomancer. We have Sexy Bambo. He's no longer sad. He's going to be playing Invoker. Trixie San playing the Viper. Sing Sing is on Enigma, and we have Rexy playing Sand King. For the Dire team, we have Smogolig on the Darkseer. He is apparently an official member now, has the tag and everything. Aki on the Crystal Maiden. Miracle going to be playing Earthshaker, and we have Loda playing Leshrac as per usual. And finally, Pycat playing the hard carry role on Morphling, and he's actually going 0 regen, so apparently is confident in his laning setup on the top.
Even so, he has 2 support heroes up there. It's unlikely there's going to be more than 1 hero top, is what he's thinking. So, is he going to take any damage at all from Harass? Not likely. If the creeps attack him at tower because they're pulling or something, they can just give him all the regen that they have. So, it just helps him out a lot. You see a lot of Russian teams doing it. Like lately, Navi's been letting their Broodmothers and other heroes get Poor Man Shield, and it assists them. And DTS, they also bought a health pot and a Tango for their Clinks when he soloed mid. So it's becoming more of a common thing to set up your lanes with more of an advantage.
Interesting. Alright, and it looks like CLG is going to start off the Darkseer as the solo bot. That's going to be up against a Viper Venomancer. Mid lane is going to be the Invoker. A little bit of an interesting, different skill build. Healthy stats here, +5 to everything, and he'll get bottled a little bit more quickly than going for that Blades of Attack start. But he's going to be up against a dual lane, it looks like Pycat as well as Crystal Maiden, which could be pretty dangerous. It's a lot of nuke potential, but Sexy Bambo obviously on any Invoker. He still isn't skilled in Orb yet, so he is going to go Exhort, so probably will be going for the Exhort Quas build.
They really need to be careful about their lane control on mid.
Which team does? CLG?
CLG, yeah. Because it's going to be hard to effectively deny the Invoker. They're going to effectively deny him experience as long as the wave's in their favor. But other than that, Sexy Bamboy is just going to try to play it as safe as possible.
Yeah, and he won't have anything like Ghost Walk there. And Aki's already going to trade some hits going from low to high. He hasn't missed anything yet, which is a pretty good trade. And he doesn't have Quas yet either, so that's actually a lot of trades here. Gets maybe one more hit in on Aki. That's going to cost him a salve, and that's actually all of Crystal Maiden's regen here, even taking a little bit of creep damage. So, and it's actually... Go for it.
What? I was just laughing because Bamboy, he only has two orbs.
Oh yeah,
evoked.
I did actually notice that a while ago, but...
You should get that third one up.
Yeah, it's +3 damage going to Waste Man. He's probably like, why am I last hitting so terribly? And then he'll realize. But possibly a roam coming. Venomancer uses a smoke. And Venomous Gale, one of the best ganking abilities. And there it is, used on Aki. Bambo, still only level 1. Doesn't even have a Sunstrike yet. That is so frustrating, and thus far just now picks up level 2 and could have maybe done something. If that was like a cold snap with Venomous Gale, that would have been a kill otherwise, so the level, the EXP disadvantage that he's up against is not fun for him.
Stop it.
Alright, see what else is going on. mouz Sing Sing with Rexy on the top lane. That is a SK Enigma dual lane up against Loda now. And Miracle doing some nice pulling. Miracle's pulling is so amazing, man. He is such a good support hero. It's really impressive every time I watch him play a game.
Yep, it's good shit.
Looking for fissures possibly. Couple Eidolons may end up going down. We can check CS totals since the game is a little passive thus far. Crystal Maiden doing a little bit of rune control, but in the mid lane so far we have Sexy Bamboo up to 2 last hits. Ugh. Up against an 11-6 Morphling. Crystal Maiden is at 1-0, and Venomancer has done just 1 deny so far in the mid lane, so he is definitely not doing so hot on the mid lane. He has grabbed a 3rd orb finally, so getting bonus damage there. Has not skilled his Sunstrike quite yet. Going to save his mana, but the rest of the lanes on the bot lane, we have Trixie playing that Viper once again. He's 13-6, up against Smogalig playing the Darkseer, who's at 3-0, so they're getting a nice advantage there at least.
I think this the battle is going to come down to mid lane, how it goes.
It's a little bit of slow there. Waveform on the high ground doing some damage to Bamboo, but he's going to be fine. There's going to be a Frostbite on Dement actually, which is decent chunks of damage here. A couple more hits. He's going to survive that one. Going to have to eat some tangos to heal back up. So yeah, mid lane definitely very important. I like how mouz is also covering Sing Sing on the top lane. If you use just a solo Enigma, it's much easier to get that kill off, especially if we see, especially with a Leshrac Earthshaker. That's a very potent dual lane. So, but with SK there to throw a stun possibility, and Sing Sing can be a little bit more aggressive. He won't get as much EXP, but he will be able to continue denying EXP using Eidolons.
It's a battle for the pull top lane. The big pull. You see whenever it's in CLG's favor, they're pulling. Whenever it's in mouz's favor, they're pulling. It's kind of silly to an extent. I mean,
In what ways?
I don't know. It's just weird, you know. Like,
it's a weird thing to have control over, and about that to be the focus of the lane situation is who
yeah,
can control the neutrals.
It's really just defining the lane. Yeah.
Rexy is going to take a double stun here. He does still have a salve, so he'll back up to full. Also has a smoke, so if they get some decent levels into these heroes, that's a level 2 Malefice now in Enigma, so he will be able to get some disables off on a couple people. Morphling's going to bottle up an Illusion Root, so he does go for a bottle this game, which will allow him a lot more lane stain power as well as ganking potential. And he's going to go Waveform with Morph, so pretty good stats in the early game. Still doesn't have boots quite yet, and actually, yeah, there we go, boot being transferred. So
That dual lane is such good in rune control too. Like, they have such killing potential at any time.
Yeah, solo Morphling is a pretty weak lane, but if you throw a Crystal Maiden in there, all of a sudden you're talking about a lot of disable and a lot of extra nuke potential. So, and especially with an Invoker who doesn't have any Quas levels, he can't take that much harass, otherwise he will get outlaned.
Not so sure going the Exor build was such a good choice right now. With Cold Snap, I don't know, they're just at such a disadvantage in mid. CM strong Morph is like, I don't want to say it's the strongest lane in the game, but it's up there.
And CM Jugger all day.
Pygat and Daggy are doing a fantastic job keeping the lane on their hill, if you haven't noticed. They're making sure not to, like, auto-attack creeps or get extra hits off. Every attack matters right now. And they're denying from half, making sure it stays on their hill, and denying maximum experience.
Yeah, if Bamboo goes down to the river, then he doesn't have vision of the high ground, which means people could get around behind him a little bit more easily, and that's part of the reason that he is doing so far behind in EXP. But in the meantime, Trixie on the bot lane is actually doing really, really good on gold. He's up to 1600 here. He takes a lot of damage from that creep wave, but looks like he's probably going to go for an Aquila, an awesome Viper item, as well as a possible fast Vanguard, but we'll see. Dement probably going to transfer a Tango here. He'll slowly heal up, but in the meantime, Darkseer continuing to get last hits using just Ion Shell, and this is pretty much the best that he can do here on the bot lane. He does have the Soul Ring, though, so that does allow him to spam quite a bit. A little bit of Edict damage on the top lane as well. Miracle's still in position to do the counter stun if he needs to, and that was a lot of Edict damage, actually. Radiant Structures get fortified. That was a bad fortification there. Absolutely
Sexy
wasted.
and Bowie was just loving life for a minute there. He got a full wave of experience at tower. He was just ecstatic. He was happy.
Yeah, that makes a big difference when you're that
I know
far
that
behind.
feeling. He's just got to make sure not to die. I mean, the first blood is so important. First blood not taken by 7 minutes, and it can really be defining in a farm game like this. Every advantage helps. Like this, it's gonna. You can tell it's already becoming a farming game because one team can't push towers early and stuff. They're going on mid right now. Misses a wave and he invokes Ghost Walk.
That's a really fast invoke too. He did pick up a Wex as well as a Quas, so apparently he said, dude, this wave is way too dangerous. If anybody else shows up and ganks me, it'll be an easy kill. But it's definitely too early for them to have a dust up, so I mean, it's possible, but that's a really, really fast dust if they put that towards ganking him, and he ends up surviving. The waveform missed anyway, so he was probably okay. So a little bit of a waste of mana, but I'm sure it's better safe than sorry here.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Aki just bought dust with his next 180 gold. It's just an Aki move.
Ooh, they're going on him
They're
again.
going to get a freeze off.
Ooh, they will get the Frostbite and one more hit. He does a little bit of Quas invoking, but he was way cooldown for the Ghost Walk, and using it earlier was a possible, pretty much a huge mistake there. Ghost Walk has a huge cooldown, like 60 seconds or something like that, so if you gank him twice in a very short succession like that, it is easy to get that Invoker kill, and they used the Frostbite to keep him in place as Morphling did the damage, and that's an early kill. First blood goes down.
Well, at least CM got it.
That's true. Did she pick that up? Yeah, that was the first blood for her. So, gold graph, if we see how the lanes are going, Dire Team in an advantage, partially because of the first blood. It was sitting at about 500 before that went through, so about a 400 gold advantage from that one. Looks like Dire Team may take an advantage top as well. I expect this Leshrac to take a tower before anyone else probably. Fissure will go down again. He's actually going to use Split Earth to clear the creep wave as well, but Eidolon's here is going to be able to pull creeps past as well as tank, so CLG not really able to put more Edict damage on the tower like they would want to, but that is the benefits of having a dual lane here, is that it's not as easy to dive as it is in a normal situation.
Yeah, but they moved 3 heroes up here, so that's declaring that they want that tower.
Yeah, Crystal Maiden does show up, so... And the last...
We're not going to be able to do anything to stop it.
Yeah, Leshrac picks that one up. There's a slow from Aki. We're going to see an Entangle as well. Stun from Leshrac, grabs that one. And chasing after Rexy now. Another Fissure, need another Disable, but everything's on cooldown for Leshrac as well as Crystal Maiden, so Rexy's going to end up surviving, but that's the first tower down. And in the meantime, Pycat doing a lot of tower damage mid, just with some auto attacks. Very nicely done so far. Tower took a lot of damage, down to 480. How was surely Viper's got to be doing something. I mean, he's had free from bot lane this entire game. Hasn't had any TP support yet. He does have a Ring of Health up, and he actually opted for treads. Maybe some more items coming out on the courier or something, but so far it doesn't really look like. I thought he would actually have better items than this, but I guess it's only 9 minutes, so it's still very early. Bambo trying to dive, or getting dived possibly. Dement in position now, level 4, and he doesn't have boots or anything, but dropping some wards down gives some vision. And CLG is going to play it safe for a little bit, continuing to dominate their lanes, looking for some more tower kills, and in the meantime, Miracle doing some more pulling, grabbing some more EXP, and he's actually got enough for Arcane Boots now. Very fast Arcane Boots in this game.
Yep. They're gaining the small advantages, but in a game like this where it's so close, because of it's just small play right now. And it's farming, because the lanes are neutralized. Like, they equaled each other out. So... mid-game is when we're going to be seeing the fighting. I imagine when Morphling gets his first item, that's when they'll be wanting to go.
Now, do you think they're just going to do that because they assume to have an early lane advantage? Or for other reasons?
Well, the game is going great for them right now.
Yeah.
Leshrac farming well. I think DS is farming well as well. Yeah, no, DS is actually not doing good at all. Which isn't good, but I mean, they have Leshrac farming well. They just have good mid-game heroes, and they're out-farming them massively.
And they're going on the Viper now. There's the great stun from SK, stopping the initiation. Sunstrike as well. Miracle takes a ton of damage, and Echo Sand picks off the SK, but Trixie is going to finish off that Earthshaker at least. Might change on Crystal Maiden, but another Frostbite and loaded TP's in. And that was a mistake. Not worth it. He was a little greedy there. And even if he would have gotten the Crystal Maiden, there still would have been a Darkseer there, so that would have been pretty dangerous. And he's actually going to buy back, surprisingly, and teleport towards the mid lane, trying to pick off Pycat, perhaps. How do you feel about early game buybacks? Are they ever worth it?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
If
early game buybacks can be some of the most worth it. One second. Alright, so anyways, like, early game buybacks are really cheap. On heroes like Leshrac especially, it really depends on the situation. I don't think it was worth it for Trixie right there, but a lot of the Russian teams, Navi, etc., they 5-man a lot from early times in the game. So if something like Leshrak dies, he can buy back for 300 gold early game, TP to the other lane, and just start pushing that lane, getting that tower, trading the tower, getting gold for his team, pressuring the tower. They'll either have to defend it, or they'll try to go 2, which may not be able to be done. But either way, you're getting collateral for, and that's the goal there.
I see. So, cool. All right.
If you can pick up kills too, it's also good.
Yeah, ooh, Trixie and Rexy also popping a smoke. Gets surrounded by 3 heroes. Going to ulti on Loda. Might be able to pick him off there. Nice surge, but whoa. Sankin goes down. Another fissure as well. And that's going to be a fast double kill. Loda gets killed by, was that Cold Snap or something? Yeah, I think
it was Cold Snap.
It's a one-shot Cold Snap.
I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, 60 damage. Aki does get surged. There's the slow. No frostbite. Does have a wand though. Could use it, but dive a little bit too dangerous. And they're going to back up from that. That Earthshaker Fissure. I love it when it comes in just at the right time, stops the chain of initiation, is just enough damage and stun.
Yeah, it really sucks. Like that fissure was huge. It stopped Trixie from getting the kill, and he would have been the only one in experience range. So like, you gotta. It's not brought up that much, but like getting solo XP for hero kills is huge, and like to stop that it's a big deal.
Yeah, in the right place at the right time for sure. And too bad for mouz that it ended up being a smoke gank into a enemy team, so they wasted the smoke on top of that. 100 gold completely gone. They have 1 less smoke. So Enigma on the top lane has the soul ring up. His farm is not amazing, but it's not terrible. No mech in sight really, but his GPM is actually very low, down to 200. But that's partially because he dual laned, and so far looking really good for the Dire team. It's at 6k advantage right now. That is very healthy at 13 minutes.
Things are just going bad on mouz side. You can look at this Veno and it just says it all. He's poor. He's poor. He's only got 262 gold. He's pulling a milk on us, boys.
Yeah, he doesn't have any boots yet, so that makes it a little bit tough to survive, especially when you're up against the Darkseer. Darkseer's actually sitting here by the rune. Does take a little bit of Plague Ward damage and then realizes, oh, this Veno doesn't have anything at all. And Aki's actually around 4 levels of Frostbite, 3 levels of Crystal Nova, so very good early.
This Veno is actually 0-0, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah, he hasn't died at all, but he hasn't been a part of any kills either. Although there haven't been that many, but...
And it looks like Invoker on the bot lane, level 8 now, so 3 levels of Exhort, 2 Quas, so we'll be going for the Forged Spirits most likely, and he's going to get a fast drum even before Phase Boots. But this is smart because you don't need the Phase Boots to last hit when you go Exhort build, so it's sometimes easier to just go for more HP items first, which I think is a very smart item shift that we've seen out of him. And Pycat on the mid lane does get ultied by Viper as well, but he's actually going to give up on that one.
Yeah, because he was invis. Yeah, he popped his invis bottle.
Oh, he did? Okay, I was like, I was confused. He looked mostly visible, to me at least.
Oh no, I was questioning it too. I just clicked him to see.
Yeah, it was an invis. Top tower almost gets picked off by Loda, but it's going to be defended. See if, nope, too small, or too slow that is. And can they pick up the catapult? No, they get the deny, so good.
That was all Aki right there. Top tower getting that low, top tower getting denied right now. Like, okay, not denied, but like everything was Aki. He has that ward right there. You see it? That one, it saw the 2 heroes. There were 2 heroes right there, and they also saw the Invoker bottom, and they saw 1 more mid. So they knew where 4 of the heroes were on the map. So that's why Miracle could farm all the way down here with no problem.
And why Loda pushed the top lane? Are you saying because they had vision of the entire enemy team?
I
see. And possibly almost going on Sad Bambo, or Sexy Bambo, sorry. It's going to take me a while to get used to saying it the correct way again, but back on the bot lane, level 8 still hasn't leveled up a whole lot, and in the meantime, Dement almost got his boots, about to be rich. 16-minute boots, man. He's got no mana either, is the other problem.
You know, he's just dreaming of the day when he can run with boots of speed. This isn't good.
Fastest little worm ever. Wow, great fissure block and the vacuum as well, and they pick him off with the Echo Slam. Rexy now going in on Miracle. Doesn't have enough for his ulti, unfortunately. Just boots. Clarity potion for him. Trixie is going to try to lead one of these guys off, but Earthshaker will be surged away, and they're going to give up on that one. And Miracle is extremely... Oh my god, look at his money. He's got his Blink Dagger at 16 minutes as a support. Like, how does he have this much gold? I can't believe it. He has 38 last hits. I mean, it's a decent amount of last hits, but it's not like a ridiculous amount. Does he have kills?
They're really just dominating the map right now. They have 4 towers down, and he's only died once. He has 3 assists and 2 kills. And yeah, he has 40 CS. 40 CS is very good for a support hero like Earthshaker in 16 minutes.
Yeah, it is really, really high. I saw him doing a little couple fissures on neutral creeps and things like that, but looks like they might actually go for Roshan here. Leshrac definitely has some early Roshan properties. He's about to finish his soul booster. We'll see if he disassembles the arcane boots for the Bloodstone. He did do that earlier today, and some other players like doing this as well, and I think it's very efficient, because then you can go into phase boots or even boots of travel in the mid game. So arcane boots
Not only
definitely
that,
drop off.
the biggest thing about doing that early is the fact that you get the Bloodstone earlier. That means you can
That's
start
true.
building up the charges earlier. That means you become unstoppable.
Yeah, once you get the mana up there, there's going to be a nice fissure block on Trixie. It's going to prevent him from coming in anytime soon. That was a great fissure. Creates enough space for them to finish off the Aegis. Morphling's going to pick that one up. He's up to a Perseverance and 1,800 gold now. And CLG taking another advantage in the game.
In all honesty, I don't think mouz was intending to contest that. I mean, they need to make some big plays to get back in this game. They're at a big disadvantage. Shotgun Morphling is just one of the strongest things in the game, just because he has the ability to kill a hero instantly, and then it becomes 4 vs 5.
Yeah, there's not a lot of carries that can do that. I mean, at least not at Morphling rate. There's a lot of very strong hard carries, but not very many that can just cast a couple spells. It's almost like he's an int hero in some ways with his burst
And there's
damage.
nothing that can save you from it.
Other
There's
than
no
like
Ghost
wards
Scepter.
maybe or something.
Yeah,
See him
there's
coming.
there's no force staff save.
Ooh,
They're
going
going
on
on load at top.
Yeah, he's going to use an ulti. TP support's coming, but they clean him up really fast. And that's 2 canceled TPs as well from the rest of the Dire team. That's a lot of gold being wasted. But they're going to trade the tier 2 in the meantime as a result of Loda getting ganked.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're going to spend a lot of resources clearing the creep camp top, so at least mouz will be able to get a tier 1 tower out of this. But the damage coming from Pycat as well as Smogul, and the 1 catapult here means that tower will drop, and Darkseer gets the last hit, so...
They're hoping. Oh, they are going to get that tower.
And he's
No TP on Earthshaker.
Dire's top
Okay,
tower
so
is
Earthshaker will not be
under
able to
attack.
TP out. It's okay, man. He's got Echo Slam. Who needs a TP? He doesn't plan to go back to base. He's
Yeah,
gonna
I
win
guess,
the team
huh?
fight and take a rack.
Just going to go base right now.
Exactly. Wards are up though, and those are level 3 wards. So I like the positioning as well. They're behind the tower, so now CLG, if they wanted to even slow down the push, they would have to go up the hill and then attack the Plague Wards. Very smart positioning for those. In the meantime, the rest of mouz
Fortress.
is pushing top. Yeah, absolutely. It's undeniable. Oh, he actually goes in on Rex. He does the Echo Slam fissure as well and picks off the Sand King. Alright, man. He's like, I gotta blink dagger, I gotta use this thing. And he finally gets a kill, so nicely done. I didn't expect that to happen, but early Echo Slam on a single hero, and they pick off the Sand King.
I think that just
Dire's
shows
top tower is under attack.
how confident CLG are. I mean, the next logical step for them is to fight top, I guess, possibly. CLG replicates in, but nah, they aren't looking to fight. But the next logical step for them is just to push mid tower, and I imagine they'll do it soon since they stop mouz's pressure at top. So, I mean, what he's saying is he doesn't need Echo to push that mid tower if they do it in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, fissures are already really good, man. And especially with Blink Dagger, you can always line up the fissures, hit as many people as possible. And AoE stuns are not to be underestimated. It is so powerful to be able to stop the entire enemy team. And if you think about it, that's just as good as the Tide Ravage. If you can drop a fissure on 4 heroes, that pretty much does just about as much as the Tide Ravage does. So that's great. And you can do that every 15 seconds, so... really, really farmed Earthshaker, something we don't see a lot in pro games because most teams don't draft Earthshaker, but it's definitely one of the strongest support heroes if you do get that Blink Dagger up.
Well, we have Blink Dagger on Enigma, so let's see if Sing Sing pulls out the big plays.
Very, very greedy in some senses. If he does get caught up position, Blink Dagger is completely worthless, so he definitely needs to utilize that Blink Dagger to get the nice black holes off. But like you said, it can make big plays if he gets the big black holes off to catch
All right.
multiple heroes.
Here's the thing, though. The ulterior choice to this, or the ulterior choice. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Anyways, the other choice that Enigma had was to go straight BKB. But that's another 1,700 gold in a game he's already struggling at,
Mhm.
in a game that he's largely disadvantaged in. If he goes for the BKB, he's not going to be hitting the huge hole that they need to win the game. That I think they need to win the game.
Yeah, I would agree with
We
that.
also have a pipe pickup with Viper as well. I don't
And
know
he,
if
he
you
could go for a mech as well. That's another option that is very common with Enigmas. But usually when they're doing really good early, that is the build that they go for. That way they can eat a couple early nukes, heal up from it, not have to worry a whole lot. And yeah, Viper interestingly going for a pipe instead of a Vanguard. Vanguard is a lot more common of a Viper item, but this allows his team to have better team fight early on. And his HP is still a little low, but there is a lot of magic damage coming from the Dire team, so I think it's a good pickup here. That is a really fast Lincoln Sphere. 21 minutes. Plus 1,000 gold on top of that. We'll see if he goes for Ethereal Blade first or goes straight for the Manta style. Might just go Yasha Ethereal as well. That's also a good option if you want to shift your build a little bit. And the rest of CLG being very confident, pushing in the areas, mid areas, and smuggling on the bot lane. He's got a pipe up as well, plus a point booster. How do you feel about, what do you think Darkseer should get as an item now? I mean, teams obviously shifted away from the Aghanim Scepter, and then I saw a little bit more Aghanim's resurgence on him since the nerf.
It depends what you're going for as a strategy, but if you're going to fight and look to end the game, mid-game and stuff, a Force Staff is a great pickup on him, without doubt. Pipe is good. Scepter is also very good still, without doubt. Like that, the Scepter has good effect as long as you hit heroes with it.
Yeah.
It does a lot of damage.
Yeah, the strongest illusions in the game, I believe. I don't think there's anything that's more beast. It used to be Chaos Knight ulti, but no longer is the strongest thing. And Leshrac does go for the Bloodstone Disassemble, picks up Phase Boots immediately afterwards. So this is what I was talking about. This allows you to free up your boots. Arcane Boots drops off pretty drastically in the mid to late game in terms of the amount of regen it provides. So, and this way he gets better positioning. So he'll be able to use the Phase Boots to chase heroes and the Bloodstone to get the regen.
Miracle looking to kill that Sanking again.
He was thinking about it. He's just about to hit his level 2 epicenter as well, so may want to be a little patient until he gets to that point. But doing a little bit of split pushing here.
Yeah, I mean it's hard for Saveno to push anything. Look at those wards; they're just cock blocks, really.
Yeah, kills all the creep waves so easily. And Sexy Bambo, only level 11, just now picks up 2 levels of Forged Spirits. And the rest of CLG exerting their map control, so farming pretty much everywhere. Viper is actually very aggressively farming the bot lane, and just as there's a ping, he's going to go hide in the trees. It's purchasing a Blade of Alacrity, possibly going for a Yasha, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's going Manta next, no question.
Yeah, it gives them a nice balance of HP, movement speed, attack speed, damage, all that stuff. A little bit of armor as well. Viper actually one of the agility heroes that has kind of crappy armor before he gets some levels into him, so it's always nice to have that boost.
Our Venomancer is rich now, guys.
Is he really?
Sitting on 1.6k gold. Yeah,
Whoa.
that push.
What is
Oh,
he?
yeah.
What is he waiting for? I feel like if you're this far behind on a Venomancer, you need to spend your gold. Like, at least buy the mech components or something. Nobody else has a mech, I believe, so it's probably
Well,
going to be him.
He hasn't been dying, so I think the options right now are either mech or Force Staff.
Ooh, Miracle gets jumped on. There's going to be a cold snap. Might get chased as a blink in 2 seconds. Yeah, he's going to be fine. There's a stun from Loda as well, but nobody was there. So, and Loda going for a BKB right after the Bloodstone. Good item decision. Let's see what else is going on. Gold Graphos.
This is a game where CLG's... There's no other option for CLG except to sit back, expand their lead, farm their side of the map aggressively, farm every lane, farm your own neutrals, and just out-farm them until you have the items that you need to end the game. I'm talking BKB on Leshrac, Ethereal Blade or Manta on Morphling. And once we see those item pickups, that's when we'll... Well, they're trying to actively fight right now. The problem is that mouz is dodging, actively fighting very well.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a good job at that. They're looking for their opportunities against solo heroes, but they're not chasing or being too aggressive, which is very smart, because that could run them into some nasty team fight from the Dire team. So, but it looks like Venomancer actually went for Arcane Boots this game, so boost up his mana pool. Very nice item to have on Veno, because it makes him pretty much mana independent. He can cast for the rest of the game and not have to worry about anything unless he gets mana drained or something. And after this, maybe a wand. Yeah, he buys a wand, and probably going to see a lot of observers and sentries from here on out. Like, Venomancers, I feel like their item build, if I was just to randomly think of a Veno item build, in a pro game at least, I feel like I would see observers and sentries there in his pool at all times.
Yep. He's just so good at counter warding because of the plague wards. Very safe warding, very safe counter warding. bitch, please.
He's going to grab a smoke up as well. So it looks like they're going to be looking for a gank. Enigma is level 9, so he's pretty much at full viability. He doesn't have any death, Midnight Pulse, sorry, yet, but that's not a huge deal. It's kind of a spell that is not oftentimes relied on to do major damage, and who is going to be down here? It's actually going to be Smoglig the Darkseer, so he will have a max level Surge. He could get jumped on, we'll see. Trixie is sitting far back, doesn't want to scare him away, and they're going to wait till everybody else gets behind. So here comes the chase. There's Force Spirits. Malefice goes down. Going to see Cold Snap any second. Cold Snap being casted, a couple range damage, tons of damage coming out, and even a Viper ulti. Viper wanted him dead, man. And a 50-second cooldown on that, so not a huge loss for wasting that Viper ulti.
At the same time, they're going to be able to do... CLG is going to be able to kill mid. Going on to mid. Huge Echo Slam. The Sauce Boss Miracle.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Black Hole from mouz. Oh, Pycat stunning it off, though. And the AoE damage now. Sing Sing is going to end up going down. Didn't catch load, unfortunately. And now we're going to see Trixie drop as well. Another stun coming from Miracle. Getting hit from the high ground by Sexy Bambo. And a couple more tower hits. He's going to survive with his gem, so nicely done by mouz. Or by CLG, sorry. Great little team fight there. Picking off 4 heroes. And Darkseer dying on the bot lane. So that was, in some ways, a 4 for nothing.
I mean, the Darkseer kind of opened it up by getting killed. The Venomancer TP'd back alone to the second tier, thinking that, oh, there's only one hero there. And then there was also TPs to the first tier. So that kind of opened up that option, because there were no Venom wards at the tower. You could hit the tower a bit, and they tried to defend it, because they wanted to defend that tower, because it just gives so much map control. But it wasn't possible at that point for them, and CLG jumped on the opportunity to slay them all.
And Pycat has crap loads of money now, up to 5,700. We'll see if he goes for that Ethereal first or grabs the Manta style. He can definitely buy the Manta at this point, but with the Courier on the high ground, I'm going to assume that he's going to grab the Eagle Song, perhaps. He could be more aggressive since he does have the Aegis, so could go for more of an aggressive item build at this point. And Ion Shell inappropriately being used on the Roshan.
What are you talking about, man? That's some scary shit.
It is pretty
Roshan,
intimidating. I love that. I love that animation so much. I think it's one of the best animations in the game. The Ion Shell. It looks so cool. I love how it just pokes at people. It's really sweet.
Think about this. Sing Sing blinking in, maleficing someone. He's next to Roshan.
That's true.
30 health.
And then the Ion
Bam!
Shell kills him, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Could be huge. SK actually picks up a Blink Dagger, so there are lots of initiation tools for the Radiant team. Their team fight is going to be easier to leverage at this point. Viper will have his Yasha picked up, but the rest of the Dire team still at a big advantage as Morphling spent his gold, and he does it. He's going straight shotgun, straight into the Ethereal Blade. Doesn't have a Yasha yet, but when you're this far ahead, it's a good item decision, and he's up to 190 agility, so he's going to be nuking for crap loads of damage, and in the meantime, going for some Ancients.
I mean, Sand King has his Blink Dagger up, but I'm really questioning how much it's going to do. He really needs that level 11 Epi. It'll give him 2 extra pauses, which will actually, like, make him do some damage. Because if Pipe is popped, he's not going to do any damage with Epi. And that'll make Sad Bamboe again.
That's true. We'll see if he
Actually,
changes it towards the end.
Yeah, I actually think that Sexy Bamboe is... He's definitely Sad Bamboe right now.
Yeah, I would be sad as well. Eidolon's clearing the jungle camps up as well. I like how Sing Sing is spreading out his time like that.
You have to know that no team likes playing from a disadvantage like this. Like, it's a hard situation, but like you aren't just gonna throw in the towel. Like, there is a chance to win, no doubt. Like,
and they have the team fight heroes to do it. I mean, all it takes is like, all right, it's not that it's a simple thing, but if we get an obscene black hole, like 4 heroes while your team is still alive, something like that could happen, or even like amazing epicenters. If CLG makes a positioning mistake and gets really grouped up and allows those AoEs to go farther, I mean, they also have an Invoker, and that's not a hero that you want to assume is not going to do anything either. They're going to jump on somebody up here. It's actually Rexy going, trying to get an epicenter off an Aki, but he's going to get picked off. Wow, Loda popping a BKB as well, looking for lots of damage. And Trixie about to pop his pipe. There goes down. Sing Sing running away now. Deafening Blast is also being used, and Bambo is actually on the wrong side of his team. Ulti as well from Trixie, and Miracle looking for an Echo Slam. He does use it on a solo hero, but absolutely worth it in that case. And Pycat picking up a double kill. And ooh, they're going to call a good game already. Towel has been thrown.
you say already like it's a surprise. I mean,
Yeah.
I think CLG would have ended the game right here anyways. But they could just keep continuing this pattern and just out-farm them, and mouz wouldn't be able to say anything about it. That's poker, folks.
Yeah, I guess that's it. So Rexy's going to disconnect, probably a little unhappy about that one, but the lanes for CLG were just really, really strong. They shut down the Invoker in the early game. He's still only a level 12 hero. The EXP graph is obscenely in the Dire's favor. They have twice as much EXP just about. And CLG's going to take the win here in the game. So mouz didn't really do so hot for a Star Series. Yeah, they definitely had a rough start. There's definitely still a very good team. They qualified for the GoSu League, so they won that 32-person bracket, but he's going to try to one-shot people in base. Did he mess that up? I think he must have double-clicked his Ethereal Blade, because I didn't see it come out for the nuke. Wow, that wall, man. Dude, that's the best. I think that's the best throning tool ever when they're AFK. It's just drop a wall on them. And then the tower kills the illusions and continues to spawn. That's pretty beast.
Was indeed.
Alright, cool. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I think we might have some more games coming up. We'll see if I have time. I have about an hour left. Thanks again, Painted Gold, for joining me. It was really fun. You did a great job, I must say. Nice job.
Thanks, man.
Alright.
Appreciate it.
And we'll be back in just a second, guys. Oh yeah, by the way, any shoutouts from you? Sponsors or Facebook, Twitter, anything like that?
Not yet, not yet.
Oh, dude, you gotta get on that, man. You gotta get on it.
Shout out to Ballway Universe, Korok, Infinity.
You could just name every North American Dota player, I guess. You might as well at this
No,
point.
no.
Okay,
No.
only those 5. Alright.
Shout out to Mally, because he's our manager and he works super hard for us. Appreciate it.
Dude, managers are
that's it.
awesome.
Yeah.
They work hard. Behind the scenes people, they work sometimes the hardest, so. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back in just a second. I'll let you know about the schedule, and other than that, once again, thanks for coming, and we'll be back in a second. Don't go anywhere.